Welcome to Age Reversing Health, where we discuss ways to help you go far beyond just surviving this life, with practical and proven solutions to literally turning the clock back on aging so you can live your best life. Live younger for longer. Now, here's your hosts, Carl Krebs and Judy Friesen.
All right. Well, welcome back. This is Age Reversing Health, and this is Things That Matter. And truly, reverse and our health are things that matter. Joining me in studio is Lana VanDijk. Lana, you have quite a resume I was looking at, and thank you so much for being our guest here tonight on Age Reversing Health.
You're very welcome. This is exciting. It's one of my favorite topics, to be honest. I mean, been in the health industry for about 20 years, and seeing things that are cutting edge is like the candy store of health food.
You know, I was reading a bit of your bio, and there's quite a bit there. So I just want to go over it. So you grew up in rural Saskatchewan. To be honest with you, I have to tell you, I don't know where Cooper, Saskatchewan is. Can you locate me? Can you give me some bearings on that?
The metropolis. When I was there, it was about population 600. I graduated in a class of 18 students. Cupar is about 45 minutes northeast of Regina. So hop, skip, and a jump out of the big city, you know. So yeah, I was a small town girl. Grew up on a farm.
So you grew up in the farm. Everything was fresh and healthy in your world growing up in that environment, correct?
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
So put that in the context of today, the challenges that we're facing, because I want to ask you about a personal issue of your life here, which has to do with your first child, and the need to really be adamant about that. But we are faced with all kinds of what should we call it? Challenges to our health. It's the air we breathe, the water we drink. It's the food we eat. It's the nutritions that are absent in our food. So contrast today to your growing up, just for a moment here, of how those challenges are so real right now, because you're dealing with people and their health all the time.
Right. And so growing up in a small town, I think, is very different than growing up in a city as well. So having been on a farm and raised with, wholesome farm values, my family was a farming family. So innately, the whole idea of having your own food was second nature. I never even thought of it any differently. We had our own milk cows. We had our own chickens. We had a massive garden. My mom canned, my mom preserved, froze. We had freezers, and both my parents grew up in the same sort of manner, that we just it was foreign to us to go to the grocery store and buy processed foods. Like, we had whole foods available to us, and so that was just second nature. Well, fast forward, you get to be 18 years old and wander off to the city, and university world was next for me, and quickly I started to understand the impact of stress. I understand that the impact of grocery store food, and being a starving student, you don't always make the right choices. So I learned that very quickly, that eating rice and drinking coffee doesn't get you very far unless you want to be on the inside of a hospital room, which I ended up there a couple of times because my nutrition was lacking so badly. So as you think about the contrast between living in a rural setting and a city setting, many city people don't have the room for a garden. They haven't been raised in the same way that I was blessed to be raised, where I knew how to, I at least had the, childhood skills of how to raise a garden and how to put things in a canner and, those sort of things. But not everybody has that kind of background. So you are really victim to the grocery store. And unless you're thinking about your health, it can be a very sterile, weekly or whatever routine trip that you get stuck in a rut, and you go through aisle number 1 and pick those 4 things, and aisle number 2 and pick those 6 things. And all of a sudden it becomes a mundane, empty experience that results in mundane, empty food that enters your body and provides you with zero nutrition, zero health, zero energy, and guess what? Zero future.
Now, let's fast forward a little bit more, because I'd love to have more time with you, and we'll probably have you back. But you are the founder of Body Fuel Organics. There's a saying that sometimes our greatest passion is out of our deepest pain. And I was reading over your biography of your first child, and some challenges that your child faced with a weak immune system. Is that safe to say, where you sort of delved into health and how you could obviously help your child, and then through that process find yourself in the health business? Is that a quick synoptic view of how that happened?
Pretty much. I mean, doesn't everybody who gets caught up in health open up a grocery store? Like, that's sort of what happened. It's an interesting story, to be honest. So my oldest daughter, her name is Hannah, and I was I was in my mid-20s when I had her, and I knew something wasn't quite right, because the kid got everything. It was like we couldn't escape anything. And it was nothing, thank goodness God blessed us with a really, good health, but also with a curious mind, because I knew something wasn't quite right. So I did your textbook, young mom, follow the lead of the allopathic system. I ate my yogurt. I, pounded down milk because I was supposed to. I took the commonplace prenatal vitamins, and what resulted was a child that really was lactose intolerant. She couldn't tolerate gluten. She couldn't tolerate any kind of synthetic dyes, synthetic preservatives, sugar, which it makes sense. And by the time she was 3, I think there was 1 year that she was on antibiotics 9 times in 1 year. Well, as a young mom, I just felt that wasn't right. There's something wrong here. And so I went against the grain. At that time, started to do my own research and found whole organic foods. And I was like, what have I got to lose? My doctor joked with me one time, and I didn't think it was very funny. He joked with me that we should pay rent at his clinic. I took offense to that. I was like, nope, you don't know who I am, and this is not going to fare very well. Thankfully, he was one of those doctors that was very open to conversation, and so the conversation did evolve into what natural health really was, and is there a possibility? So I actually took the bull by the horns, and it was after 1 ear infection. I thought, no, we're gonna do this the natural way, and I opted for homeopathy, and every natural remedy that I could possibly think of to get this child through this terrible pain of ear infection. And it was like I was through one that empowered me to go, okay, we got through one instance, we can get through another. And, the world opens up when you really start to look at natural health from a perspective of, I am now empowered instead of I am a victim of. And
yes, I couldn't agree with you more, because, as some doctors say, it's so easy to get on that pill treadmill and never get off of it. So you founded this Body Fuel Organics. It's all about helping people to realize better health, and in the process of that, also maintain, but even gain some ground, so to speak, in terms of getting back your health, which might have slipped away on you. I often say, age has a way of stealing from us, and we end up in a position where we're not living that best life, And so what is it that we can do naturally? Because the pill treadmill is one pill begets another. And as much as I have respect for doctors, I'm pushing back on the pill, model, that kind of medical model. So when you look at your business now and you consider what you're doing, talk about the shift that you made recently, because you came onto a product that you hadn't heard of before in your 20 years. It must have shocked you to think, why didn't I know about this? Because I know some of the people that you follow, and we'll talk about that later. But what is this product that you discovered that has just sort of reshaped your business and your mindset, I think, too? Is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Well, the realm of possibility just opened up wider. Like, it really, really opened up wider. Now, I have always said, I really believe frequency is the wave of the future. I really believe that frequency is something we have not tapped. Little did I know that somebody tapped it already. And so light is frequency. And so having that curious mind that I've always had, that's one thing. I will always be an open book. I am willing to entertain just about anything and let it just ruminate in my brain until it takes a landing spot. And that's really what the Lifewave biophoto modulation patches did, was they found a landing spot in my brain enough that I needed to pay attention to it. And I never...
If someone introduced you to this photo light therapy that is realized in the form of a patch produced by a company called Lifewave, who must have been a shock to find out they've been around 20 years as well. Like, this wasn't news. This wasn't a new company, a new fandangle. They had a proven track record and are the fastest growing company in the world. So how did you make the final decision? Like, I know we talked a little off camera, but when did the penny drop for you to say, I got to do this, and then take us forward from there? Because it's only been a little while. You haven't been in this that long, right?
No, exactly. Yeah, it really did take me by surprise, to be honest. And, you know, I think that when you actually have a personal experience and you can see it, and it happens before your very eyes, and that childlike wonder sparks again, and that belief in possibilities is reignited within you. And that's really what happened. Now, it caught my attention because I was given, it all starts with information, right? And I always tell people they need to do their research. You need to look into things, find the information that you need to find. And if you can, find it from a trusted source. And that's where it came from for me. So lo and behold, I'm sent a video, and the likes of, Stu Peters, Michael Jaco, and I knew Michael Jaco's background was as a Navy SEAL, and so that caught my attention, and that really was the spark to allow me to dig deeper. And when I started digging deeper, of course, the curious mind wants you to look at both sides of the equation. You want to look at, could this be? And let's look at seeing if there's some holes in it. Well, the longer I researched, the less and less holes that I could even find. In fact, I couldn't find the holes. In fact, I was left in awe of the brilliance behind this kind of technology, and the awe that it had been 20 years and I didn't know about it. Like, where the heck have I been, under a rock?
Where have I been? Yeah, exactly. I think I'm out there. I think I'm in the know, and someone shows me that I don't know. I want to play this video because you sent it to me and it spoke to you, and it might speak to our listeners. So without further ado, I'm going to share the screen and get this video up here. One pause here, 1 minute. We're going to get the sound up here too. Sorry. Let me get the sound as well, because without sound, it's pretty boring. Let me get it back up here. All right, let's get the sound up. And now let's go to that video again.
An empowered life has no expiration date.
Do we have sound?
We're all created to do incredible things. Like conquer summits, catch big waves, and live our passions. As time goes on, our bodies begin to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy levels decline, sleep patterns shift, and recovery slows. But our bodies are masterpieces of design, holding the potential to bounce back better than ever. With X39, we achieved something remarkable in the field of wellness and regenerative science that others could not. By utilizing Lifewave's unique patented technology, X39 uses light to elevate GHKCU, a copper peptide known to support overall health and wellness. Unlike traditional light therapy, which requires external light sources, X39 uses the body's own infrared light to naturally increase vitality, enhancing the body's flow of natural energy for improvements in strength, stamina, performance, and overall health and well-being, with the simplicity of an affordable, non-invasive, non-transdermal patch. As we age, levels of these life-enhancing elements, which are associated with wellness and longevity, begin to decline. Lifewave invested 10 years into stem cell research, which resulted in over 70 patents. X39 was born to bring to the public a product that could support wellness in an entirely new way, supporting the production of younger, healthier cells with wearable light technology. Becoming a powerhouse is easier than you think. Harness your body's natural potential to maintain youthful energy and vitality, because life comes at you fast, but it doesn't have to pass you by. Live long, live well, live young. Be the light with Lifewave X39. Lifewave.
You know what? When you saw that video, was it actually that the light came on, in your mind?
Yeah, and you know what? The thing that I love about that video, and the thing that still gives tingles up my spine, is I've preached about this for many years, and it's like we all have gifts to offer this world, and there's one thing that limits us from giving the gift of us to the world, and that is our health. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. You can't give of yourself if you don't have your health. And I've said that over and over and over again. And then when I saw that video, I'm like, wow, they are speaking my language. Imagine the world with a whole bunch of people that could give their greatest gifts to the world. What a beautiful place it would be.
Well, yeah, like the song comes to mind when you say that. What a wonderful world. If we can give help, but more importantly, because it's now being proven that we can actually turn back the clock. This gets us into another realm altogether, because for the last 17 years, Lifewave has had a really tenacious focus on turning back the clock. So talk to us about that as far as it pertains to your business and your experience.
So I think a lot of the natural health world focuses on homeostasis of where we are right now. Let's not lose more of the bone density. Let's not lose more of the collagen. Let's maintain. And we don't even talk about, well, let's prime our body to be 20 again. And that doesn't even enter the conversation of the natural health world, is reversing.
Is it too far out there, Lana, that people think, no way, it's just a movie. I saw that movie, The Holy Grail and all.
Yeah. Well, it's nothing we've ever been exposed to, much less. I mean, we've heard the words, this regenerative medicine, but we've seen it, yes, in sci-fi movies, like freezing bodies so that you can, re-enter the world. I'm not much of a sci-fi movie person, but I do like The Matrix.
I know the process starts with crypto, but I don't know the rest.
Yeah,
I'm not a sci-fi either, because I want to deal in reality. I'm kind of a meat and potatoes kind of person, but it is real. It is happening. The pictures don't lie. You've seen the pictures too.
The pictures don't lie, but you know what? Even if you just see the pictures, it is yet another experience when you are right up front and you watch somebody come in pain. You put some patches on them that look like little itty bitty Band-Aids, and they walk out like they're 20 years younger. Now that is mind blowing.
Let's we've got a few minutes left. I want you to give me your best story in 2 minutes about what you experienced that just keeps you going and saying, Lifewave is real. I'm going to be continuing to offer it to my clients. Tell me a story of 2 minutes or less that something happened when you applied a patch to somebody.
Okay, first of all, you're challenging me because there's more than one. All right. So maybe I give it, yeah. Yeah, which says something, right? So my mother-in-law is near and dear to my heart and was in a lot of pain.
I'm not sure if we lost you there. You seem to have froze up, my dear. Are you coming back, Lana? Yeah. Well, we're waiting for Lana. She may have to exit and re-enter. These are some of the challenges we face in doing these shows, online. But Lana, if you can hear me, perhaps exit and come back in, and we'll admit you back in here. But right now, you're frozen. At, on off air, I spoke with Lana, and I have a lot of respect for this young lady because she has battled her way through personal challenge with her child, and has been working in an industry that, in many different ways, hasn't garnered the respect that it should. And I have to be careful what I say here because I, for one, was a skeptic of a lot of this holistic stuff. I really wasn't a true believer. But when I came into contact myself with the Lifewave company and its product, and I experienced for myself what Lana was trying to tell us about a patient of hers, her mother-in-law, you can't help but try it yourself. And Lana just messaged she's trying to get back on, so we're going to wait for her. But seeing is believing, and the testimony of people is the most powerful thing that is propelling this product through the market right now. It is, without question, the darling of the direct selling industry, the fastest growing company in the world. How does that happen? It happens because the product actually works. People are seeing results that they have never seen before in their life. And when that starts to happen, the word spreads, and you can't help but tell people. And that's Lana's story. If she comes back in, she's going to probably tell us that her story to get involved was the fact that she saw what she couldn't believe would happen. But when it happens in front of your eyes, and it happens in the moment that it happens, then you're a believer. And welcome back, Lana. Sorry about all that. I'll apologize on behalf of the gremlins out there that are making us difficult today. But I was just filling in. Tell us quickly that story in a couple of minutes we got left about your mother-in-law.
Sure.
You're good.
Sorry about that. Yeah, we blew some circuits. We blew some circuits. That's for sure. So she walked in and was in so much pain. In fact, she didn't walk in. She actually just hobbled in. And when we put the pain patches on her knee, within seconds, she was able to function again. And it was really quite amazing. In fact, she was in disbelief. I was in disbelief. And it was something that I'd never witnessed before. It was a possibility that just was like, I was never able to entertain again, or before. So it was something that, to this day, she hasn't taken a painkiller since she put those patches on, and it's been almost 90 days now. That was seeing is believing.
Truly, that is amazing stuff. We've got less than a minute here to close out. I want to make sure that our viewers have a chance to learn about Body Fuel Organics. This is your card, your cell phone number is listed. Thank you for putting that up. And you can contact Lana at bodyfuelorganics.ca. So if you need to take a screenshot, this will be in here later. If you didn't catch it, respond to me here, and we'll get you in contact with Lana. Because if you'd like to continue that conversation, she'd love to have it, because it's amazing what she's doing out there in Regina. 30 seconds are yours, Lana, just to wrap it up on your experience with this product and your business.
Well, I'd like to tell people that if they're in a place where they never thought their health could be any better or any worse, I want you to entertain something different. Because if the allopathic system has left you frustrated, if the natural health world has given you some hope, this is at the top of the scale. This is at the top of the scale of hope, and something that could really, really unlock a new potential for you to live your best life and give the best gifts you have to the world, and we need you.
All right. Lana, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. You're a natural in the world of natural and here. And we're going to have you back again when it suits you. But thank you so much. And blessings on you and your business, because your heart is truly vested in helping people. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me tonight. Thank you. I appreciate it.